These are all the makeup products that I have been so excited to use this month of November. Hello friends, welcome back. If you are new, my name is Julie and I help you find the best affordable beauty, makeup, and fashion items on a budget. And I teach you how to use them to always look elevated, polished, and put together. This first product, the Hard Candy Long Wear Eyeshadow Primer. I had been on the hunt to find a good affordable eyeshadow primer. I picked this up at Walmart. It was under $5. It was like $4 and some change. It has not irritated my eyelids. It's moisturizing. It keeps my eyeshadows from creasing. It helps them last all day long. And I have found that it does intensify my eyeshadows slightly. The e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. This concealer is a good dupe to the Tarte Ultra Creamy. So if you are a fan of this and you're looking for a much affordable option, definitely check out this e.l.f. concealer. The only issue I have with these camo concealers is it's hard to figure out what your shade is. They do offer a lot of different shades, but I have found on Ulta, you can go on there and they have like shade matching where you can put in like another brand and the shade that you use in that brand, and it will help you figure out what color you need to get. This is very hydrating on the under eyes, but as long as you set it and you don't use too much product, I don't have any issues with this settling in my fine lines. And it's also really full coverage. So if you're looking for a more full coverage concealer that's going to cover any dark under eye circles, definitely recommend that. The e.l.f. Reviver Lip Oil. So I picked up these other ones besides the Rose Envy. And while I do like some of these other colors, this one I tend to reach for the most, and I just like the color of this one the most. So if I was to recommend one of those shades to pick up, I would say pick up Rose Envy. I do find that this is very comparable to the Dior lip oils, like the way it feels on the lips, the brush, and even kind of the packaging. I know a lot of people are comparing this to the Merit, I think it's the Merit Beauty. They have a lip oil, which I have not used any Merit Beauty products, so I cannot compare this to that, but based on what other people are saying, it is also a dupe to that product. An eyeshadow palette that I picked up and have fallen in love with is this ColourPop 1111 palette. It's a really beautiful everyday palette, and it also has some pretty pops of shimmer in here. Shadows are very pigmented, easy to blend out, and it makes me want to go and pick up more ColourPop palettes because I don't have very many of these in my collection, even though I really enjoy ColourPop. Another everyday eyeshadow palette, and I actually picked this palette up, I want to say like in October or maybe September. So I've had this for a little while and I've been slowly reaching for it more and more. But this is the Wet n Wild Color Icon Walking on Eggshells palette. And if you've been a longtime follower of mine, you know how much I love Wet n Wild eyeshadows. They have definitely changed their formula over the years. I would still say that my favorite formula for shimmers was their first formula that they had. I have some videos where I do throwback get ready with me's with those palettes. So I will link that above in the cards and also down below for you guys if you haven't seen those videos yet. I do find that with these newer palettes, even though the shadows are not the exact same formula as their old ones, they are still good. It's just slightly different. The mattes have a bit more kick up in this palette, like they're a little bit more powdery, but as long as you tap your brush off, I don't have any issues blending them out. They are very pigmented, and with the shimmers, the shimmer in the actual eyeshadow is just a little bit more subtle than in their old formula. It's kind of more of a buildable formula where you can apply a little bit of the shimmer and it looks really sheer and more lightweight, or you can go in a couple of times, build it up, and make it more intense. I've also used these shimmers like with a dampened eyeshadow brush, like where I spray it with a makeup setting spray, and that also helps to intensify the shimmers. I love how it's so compact, super affordable. This palette is I think it's like $3.28 on Walmart and $3.29 at Target. Some lip products that I have been obsessed with. The Maybelline Superstay Vinyl Inks. So I first picked up this shade in Awestruck, went back and picked up the color in Cheeky because so many of you guys were telling me how much you loved this color. And this is my favorite everyday color. It's long wearing but glossy. It just looks like my lip color slightly enhanced. Then I was like, I want to pick up some brighter colors, ones that I could do, you know, maybe wear Christmas looks and things like that. I just love a nice red lip, and I always get so much into red lips around the holiday season and also in the winter colder months. I picked up Unrivaled, Royal, and Wicked, and I have been enjoying all three of these. Probably Wicked and Royal are my favorite reds. Wicked is more of like a blue tone red, and Royal is more of a deep wine. I highly recommend these if you like a long wear glossy lip, and they're very easy to reapply throughout the day. Sometimes after I eat something, it does wear off in the middle of my lip and you have to reapply, but I really enjoy this formula. Very thin, lightweight. It does get a little tacky on the lips, but that doesn't bother me. It just makes me feel like it's really like sticking and staying on my lips. And since I had gotten back into those, it got me rediscovering the Maybelline Superstay Matte Inks. And the formula is a little different on these. Even though they are long wearing, I found that the formula is a little thicker, and the finish on this is matte, where those are glossy. I love these for red lipstick options. The color that I'm wearing today is this one here, Pioneer, which is just a good classic red. It's not too cool or warm. It's just like right there in the middle. Great holiday lip. And like I said, it's very long wearing. So like if you're eating, drinking, talking, it's not gonna wear off. And then this other one is a little bit more like muted wearable, almost mauve red. And this is in the shade Ruler. So I wore this in the summer whenever I went to the Taylor Swift concerts. And I did a makeup look that was based around her Reputation era, because I just love that album. And this is such a beautiful color. I mean, this red would also be really good for Reputation, but I know that that tour is over with now, but like I've mentioned this in so many of my videos. Oops, just dropped some stuff. I've mentioned this in so many of my recent videos, so you guys are probably getting sick of this, but this is the Believe Beauty Skin Finish Foundation. You can pick this up at Dollar General, but this is such a beautiful skin-like finish foundation. So affordable, $5.50 at Dollar General, and it is a long wearing, like it's long wearing for a skin finish foundation. This lasts anywhere from 8 to 10 hours. Not quite as long wearing as my Revlon Color Stay, but definitely long wearing enough. And it just looks beautiful on the skin. So highly recommend this if you haven't not picked it up. And it comes in a nice glass bottle, has a nice pump on it. The e.l.f. Contour Palettes. If you have yet to try this, highly recommend it. I like how it has the highlight shades and the bronzer shades. I did swap out one of the highlights for one of their blushes in here to make this an all-in-one palette. The bronzers are a great shade and really pigmented, easy to blend out and work with. Like the formula is so nice on these. And then the highlight is super beautiful. It's the highlight and bronzer I'm wearing today, but like this highlight, it is kind of intense, but at the same time natural. It's just such a beautiful color. For a more satin, kind of dewy looking skin-like bronzer, the L'Oreal True Match Lumi Bronze It. I used to use their light shade, and I've almost used that one up, but I've been into more warm toned bronzers. And so I was like, maybe I should pick up the medium, because sometimes that light one can be like a little too cool on me, almost look a little dirty. So I picked up the medium shade and I have been loving it so much. It's a beautiful warm bronzer, has a little bit of a satin finish, wears really well throughout the day. So yeah, if you haven't picked up this bronzer to try out yet, I do recommend it. If you love favorites videos, I have a playlist here with all of my monthly favorites that I have ever posted. If you did enjoy this video, give it a like, and I hope that you guys have a great day. I hope that you all have a great month of December, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.